Yo, what is going on? Come on, crew. Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody is good, man. NFL Draft Week. We're getting a few last ones in on Scouting Report. This time for Quinshon Judkins, the Ohio State Buckeyes, former Ole Miss running back. This guy's got some skills, got some talents, and is in my top 5 of running backs coming out of this draft class, so he is a good one as well. Let's stick with me. Pros, cons, and a grade score for Q Judkins, Ohio State. Like I said when I was dissecting all of these running backs, this class is phenomenal and will house so many top-end tier talent running backs, and Q Judkins is definitely no slouch in his own right. He transfers over to the Ohio State Buckeyes, helps them win a national championship with a tandem backfield with Trevion Henderson, and he is a damn good one. Was regarded as one of the best in college football even before going to the Buckeyes as well. He is one of my favorites. Love his game, and I got a bunch of good things to say about the man, so let's talk about those measurables. As always, 6 foot 221, put together specimen, 21 years of age, played in 42 contests for 739 attempts, almost 3,800 yards, 3785, 5.1 on the average, is kind of on the lower end than most want to see. 45 rushing TDs, adds 59 receptions, 442 yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns. So statistically speaking, at his time at Ole Miss and at Ohio State, he did put up a lot of good statistical, good film study, good stats to back his, potential in the NFL. And I'm a big fan of what this man can do. He's got a heaping of pros that we got to discuss on the board. Beefy frame. He does got that speed power combo. Ran a sub 4.540, which is good. We like to see that. And you do see it a lot on film. When it did look like, at Ohio State versus his Ole Miss film, you do see that he did feel like he put on a little bit more muscle mass with the Buckeyes than he ever had at Ole Miss. So, I mean, it's not necessarily a detriment, but you understand where it did kind of pull back on the top-end wheels. He was never a field burner per se anyway, but, I mean, you do have the speed-power combo with the beefed-up frame at 221. You do love it. Great speed. He can make that house call when called upon. I mean, there is some knocks in that as well that I will touch in the cons, but he does got the first step burst. It's two-step accelerators or first step burst shot out of a cannon, and it's in that middle. He's not necessarily shot out of the cannon, but he does have that first step burst when you do see it. He slams into would-be tacklers like it's nothing. He is going to initiate contact, and he's definitely put together in the sense that it's not going to necessarily hinder him because he's not necessarily the true violent runner that's looking for contact, but if contact does come to him, he's going to make you pay when you are coming at him. Slips, tackles, change of direction is very good. You see it more often than not necessarily, again, the juke or shaker that you're looking for. I mean, this class definitely has a lot of one-cut runners, in this class, but he's got a good, jump cut, hop cut, stutter step cut, and he's going to make a good slip tackle, change of directions, whether it's shoestring tackles or whether it's that dirty stiff arm that he does have. Is so good. Probably the best in the class. Double checks for me as well on the stiff arm. This man is going to be very tough to bring down if you're coming with arm tackles up high on those shoulder pads. He will stiff arm you into the ground, and that's what you want to see. But even when you're talking just pure slip tackles, seeing a few spin moves from time to time. He's got a decent, cut step in the open field, but he has changed a direction to make these guys miss, along with the stiff arm. Definitely makes him a coveted running back that can make a lot of plays in the open field. Extremely physical runner. And I think this is, something nuanced to his game where you did see some physicality at Ole Miss. You just saw it on full display with Ohio State this past year. Definitely in that physical category of runners with some wheels and good ability to evade tacklers. Vision is strong, and he can get to this edge very well. So while the in between the tackles, off tackle, he can find these holes. The cutback lanes are definitely there as well, and he can get to that edge relatively with ease. I don't have a big problem with him, especially with a guy that, doesn't run the sub 4.45. He can definitely get to that edge and make people miss. Got more than enough, and that's where the burst does kick in. When you see him hit that edge and he gets around the tackle, he is hitting that burst, and he does get past a lot of these would-be tacklers. Like I said, very good jump cut, whether it's in the open field or behind the line of scrimmage. He does make people miss, and he does have a very nice jump cut to at least, get his momentum shifting. I want to say more even lateral agility is very strong in a Q Judkins, and you can definitely appreciate all of that in his game. Body balance is very good. Okay, we're talking about guys like Ashton Genty, who is probably the cream of the crop when it comes to body balance after contact is initiated, but Judkins is definitely no slouch in this department as well. He will make people miss, or if he does have to, absorb contact, his body balance doesn't necessarily fade him whatsoever. Very stout. Low center of gravity isn't necessarily part of the game, but he's very good and put together, even absorbing contact and bouncing off and still making plays down the field. Goal line upside is definitely huge, almost on the automatic trend on this touchdown machine. 45 TDs in 3 years. This guy is going to be a dynamo, just like we saw with Ohio State and the tandem with a Trevion Henderson. We saw it was like a thunder and lightning approach where you're inside the 5-yard line, give it to Q, and he's going to score a touchdown. Happen more often than not. He can still, even make definite home run calls inside the 20 if he gets outside on that edge and there's only one man to beat. Q is definitely going to make a case to score those touchdowns. So if you're looking for that goal line, tandem back, you're looking for the guy that you can spell out from time to time, whether it is like a David Montgomery type of role, this is definitely what the Judkins can do for anybody's offense. Hands definitely not a liability, but I'm not going to say they're great at this point. I think that, he can definitely catch the football. What was it, 59 receptions, like I did say. So he definitely is warranting of being a decent pass-catching back. He will not necessarily be the guy you're looking for on third downs to pick up a first down through the air, but he's definitely one of these guys that if the ball's thrown in his direction, 7 out of 10 times he'll likely come down with it if it is relatively an easier catch. Freshman stats for him was his best season back at Ole Miss. 274 rushes, 1527 in yards, and 16 rushing TDs. Definitely did put the stats on the table to show everybody that he is one of the best running backs coming out of college football, and he definitely is warranting in as my top 5 running back. But for some cons, Q Judkins, he could have, if he would have ran a, 4.41, sub 4.4, we would have been talking about him in the top 3 without question. And I still believe he does got that good, I don't even have a definite player comp for him. He's just got a lot of ability. There's maybe some Nick Chubb in this man, but I think he's even a little bit different and better because, Chubb isn't necessarily the best fleet of foot when it comes to, catching the football. I think that Judkins is definitely there as well, where you see guys from Ohio State running backs, they typically have great pass pro. In this case, I'm going to start there. Pass pro is definitely not polished, but he has flashed the ability. And I think that's part of it, where I am so excited about somebody like Trevion Henderson because the pass pro is basically elite top in the class. Judkins definitely is there, and he will continue to improve. He has stuck some guys coming in on the blitz. I just wanted to see a little bit more. He can also get caught on long runs, so there's where the 4.48 wheels do come into play. If I'm not mistaken, I do believe it was a 4.48. But he can get caught from behind. We've seen him make house calls. We've seen him get caught from behind. It's just one of those situations where you don't know if he's going to make the house call or if he's going to get caught from a speedy defensive back or safety. But that is a definite concern if you're talking about, super speedy wheels. I don't know if he has it. I'd even give Caleb Johnson the leg up in that sense over Q Judkins in that long run ability. He can run with heavy feet, and I think that is the reason why as well. I'm not going to go so far to say that they're clunkers, but they are heavier feet. You do see it kind of laboring and like they're cinder blocks at times when he's running, but he just makes it work. Some of these guys do know how to run with heavy feet. It's like Kenneth Walker the third at times. You see him running with heavy feet. Sometimes he's not running with light feet. Very weird with Kenneth Walker the third, but with Judkins, you do see it from time to time. It's like his feet are kind of close to the ground and stuck to the ground in mud rather than, being the fleet of foot, floating out there, but still not a huge concern because we did see, but you do understand 5.1 on the yards per carry throughout his career. They are heavy feet, and that's why his carries do go down as well. Tight-hipped at times. I mean, it seemed to me like when you go back to watch Ole Miss film on a Judkins, he seemed more fluid and more or less hip tightness to where he is now today coming from Ohio State. And I do believe putting on more pounds, more weight definitely did aid in this fact as well. Likely dropped his 40 time down also as well at 221 because you're saying if he's a 4.41 guy at 221, you're talking in your loving life all day long for a 6-foot running back. He is the upright runner as well, where he's still extremely good. But you do see that hip tightness where he's trying to make a cut in the open field. There is not much juke and shake, not much spin, but he does have a nice hop cut. But the tight hip nature definitely does pull away from the true fluidity that I do look for in my running backs. Not overly elusive. Ole Miss tape was better. I keep harping on that because it truly was when you're talking about the elusive nature. I mean, every single year you watch from freshman on, you see it kind of move down the board in check marks because he did kind of lose some of that elusive ability. He never was the truly crazy elusive back, but he did lose some of it, man. He won't juke or shake anybody out of their pants. And I mean, that's basically fair to say. Basically, with all these tight hip natures, even though I do like his lateral agility a lot, I think that he can move in that direction. He's just not going to be that Shady McCoy you're looking for. Patience is average to slightly above average. I just wanted to see a little bit more stutter steps, follow your blocks, but his vision is so good. He understands where the hole is, and he does hit it pretty hard and gets very good runs through the gaps and through the holes. You just want to see a little bit more pause from time to time when that hole is starting to, patiently waiting for the hole to open up. I should say it that way. You just want to see it just a touch better in that regard, and I think he could definitely school that up. And like I said, with the pass pro, just looking for a touch better and continuous improvement. He should get that in the NFL with better tutelage. But for grading purposes, Q Judkins is one of my favorites. Love this guy. Just like somebody like a Nick Chubb. Definitely not the overly fluid running back, but he can make it work. 78.5% is my grade score for a Quinshon Judkins. I think he is a very, very talented running back. Very good and will provide a lot of, necessary abilities in the NFL to produce a great tandem approach, just like we see in Detroit with somebody like a David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Judkins could definitely take that David Montgomery role and run with it, pun intended, because he is that good, and he will be extremely valuable in a tandem backfield approach. So whoever that is, Quinshon Judkins from the Ohio State Buckeyes. Like I said, he is a talented running back, one of my favorites coming out of this draft class as well, and he should have a very sound career in the NFL. Could even be a big-time volume pig three-down back in this league. If he's in a tandem, you're going to see, like we saw at Ohio State with him and Trevion Henderson, how good and complimentary he was to the super speed of Trey, where he's got the, ground and pound thunder that you're looking for. Judkins definitely should be a day 2 second round commodity in this draft. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts. What do y'all think of Q Judkins? You in, you out? What do you like? What do you dislike? Throw it in the comments. We could definitely talk it out as this draft is coming, baby. And we'll see you next time. I am out.